My dear student, this is Suraj Anand, chemistry teacher. Welcome to my channel, Suraj Anand Teaching and Chemistry Wala Anand Sir. Today I am going to discuss you the chapter number 3, metals and nonmetals. Metal decision based on the physical properties of metal and nonmetal. That is the metal and nonmetal. First point is metal have luster called metallic luster. Nonmetal do not possess any metallic luster except iodine and graphite possesses metallic luster. Metals are generally electropositive, but nonmetals are electronegative. Expectation hydrogen is a nonmetal but is a electropositive. Metals are generally, that is the metals are nonmetals are electronegative. Metals are generally good conductor of heat and electricity. Nonmetals are generally bad conductor of heat and electricity. Exception graphite and hydrogen is a nonmetal but is a good conductor of electricity. Point number 4, metals are generally solid at ordinary temperature. Exception mercury is a metal but it is a liquid at room temperature, ordinary temperature. Point number 4, nonmetals are gaseous or solid at ordinary temperature. Exception bromine is a nonmetal but it is a liquid at ordinary temperature, room temperature. Point number 5, metals are malleable and ductile, have high density and reflect light. Exceptions, sodium and potassium are metals but their densities are less than that of water. Point number 5, nonmetals are not malleable and ductile, have low density and do not reflect light. Exception, plastic sulfur is ductile. Metals when hammered emit a characteristic sound called metallic sound. Nonmetals do not emit metallic sound. So these are the chapter number 3, chemistry class 10th board aspirant. My dear student, let us understand the chapter number 3, metals and nonmetal, decision between metals and nonmetal based upon the physical properties of metal and nonmetal. Metals have luster. Nonmetals are not lustrous, metallic lusters. Exception iodine and graphite have metallic luster. Metals are generally electropositive, nonmetals are generally electronegative except hydrogen. It is a electropositive. Metals are generally good conductor of heat and electricity. Nonmetals are bad conductor of heat and electricity generally. Exception graphite and hydrogen is a non-metal but it is a good conductor of electricity. Metals are generally solid at ordinary temperature. Exception mercury is a metal but it is a liquid at ordinary temperature. Nonmetals are gaseous or solid at ordinary temperature. Exception bromine is a liquid but it is a liquid at ordinary temperature. Metals are malleable and ductile, have high density and reflect light. Exception sodium and potassium are metals but their density are less than that of water. Nonmetals are not malleable and ductile, have low density, do not reflect light. Exception plastic sulfur is a ductile. And the last point, not the least, metals when hammered emit a characteristic sound called metallic sound. Nonmetals do not emit metallic sound. These are the things. So we already discussed the before that you already read in class 5, 6, 7 and 8 that lots of characters are differently than the short form. But now we discuss the main points according to the board examining class 10 level. So this is all about the decision based on the physical properties of metal and metal. So my dear student, let us understand the decision between metals and non-metals on chemical properties. So my dear student, let us understand the characteristics based upon the chemical properties. Chemicals, the distinction based upon the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So my dear student, I am trying to give you lots of things based upon the chapter and this is totally based upon the NCERT. So my dear student, one thing I am going to make it clear. There are few tips I am giving you in the crash courses that is very suitable for your board examination for all the papers. So it is very beneficial for you to join my crash course classes. This is all about the crash course class. It is started from the November and my dear student, I think so. My dear student, let's message me on my WhatsApp number 9162413917 and kindly visit to my channel and give your valuable comments to my topics and try to understand what the Anand sir is going to teach you, what the Suraj Anand sir going to teach you about the